So this is how you check your viscous fan on a Ranger. You want to be at full operating temperature, then turn your engine off. And come over to your fan, and if it's spinning like this one, where it's got absolutely no resistance, then you know it's time to change your viscous fan. This should be a relatively quick video because I'm going to be attempting to replace this viscous fan without removing any of these cooling components such as the shroud and the radiator hose to get to it. As you can see, the bolt is right down there. There is a bit of room to get to it, but in saying that, it also is pretty tight. So this is the fan that I'm going to be using today. Now this is just a cheap one. I think it's just a China brand one. I paid $60 for it delivered to my house. Previously I have replaced this fan once before, and I think I used a Dayco, or it might have been a Davies, and that lasted 180,000 kilometers. So this one, I'm just going to see how I go. I'm not really too phased if it only lasts, 50 or 100,000 Ks. The price difference is quite considerable. The next one up that I sort of seen was around that $200 to $250 mark. So why not give this cheap one a try? Some of the tools that I've got with me that I'll be using is this, I don't even know the name of it. I guess you could call it a pulley tool or something like that. This just holds the pulley in place when you undo it. It's set at 70 millimeters from there to there. Then this here is just a big shifter that I'm using as well. So hopefully this is all I need to get that fan off. So the big shifter I was using was just too thick to get in there and sit next to that tool that I had in there. So what I've done, I've found this shifter here, which is probably about half the thickness. And I'm gonna put this trolley jack handle at the back of it like so. Hopefully you can see that. Anyway, it's gonna go on like that. And that is going to be my tool to undo the fan. I've got both the tools on. As you can see, the shifter is sitting right next to the pulley holder tool. I've just got to be careful because there is a plastic pipe there that pulley tool is resting on. So I've got to be careful not to break it. And I will set this camera up and hopefully undo it. So I've actually decided I'm going to use two extensions on both the tools. So I've got one there and one there. And we're going to see how this goes. Hopefully that was it. Okay, let's see if this fan is loose. So I'm just going to spin it anti-clockwise. And as you can see, it's coming off. Oh, there it goes. So on the back of the fan, you've just got four 13mm bolts. And that is how you remove it. So as a comparison, roughly about the same size. Obviously the China one is a bit thicker for some reason, but that shouldn't hinder it from going on or anything like that. And that is done. So getting it back on is just the opposite of what we did when we took it off. Just got to spin it clockwise to tighten it up. And the good thing about this is when you tighten it up, you don't have to get it super tight, because the way the engine spins, it's going to be constantly pushing against it. So the direction of the engine will be keeping it tight. Now, just to tighten it up, I'm going to be using the big shifter to tighten it up. And that is pretty much it. So just to finish up, the way you'll notice that your fan needs replacing, if you're towing heavy loads, you'll actually see that your temperature gauge will start going above halfway, especially when you're doing big uphill climbs and you got like 2 ton or something like that on the back. That's when you'll notice that your fan will need replacing. Also, when you're sitting at traffic lights and you got your AC going full bull, you'll notice that your AC, especially at traffic lights, won't get as cold as it used to. They're some of the signs that I started noticing on my car when it needed replacing. Like I said, this is the second time now that I've replaced it, and I was getting about 180,000 kilometers out of the fans previously. So thanks for tuning in. Until next time, see you later.